It's the Beat Break Morning Show with Sean Garvey and the crew.
Yeah, wake that ass up. It's the Beat Break Morning Show, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We're at it again. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Beat Break Radio. You already know what it is. Sean Garvey, the architect, without his other hand claps. Usually I bring a pair of hand claps in the studio with me. I think I got them somewhere in my bag in the other room. And I'm going to have to get it when we go into another break. But it's all good, y'all. I'm thankful to be here and to be rocking out with you again, ladies and gentlemen. Broadcasting from the Thinking Out Loud WadeWorksStudios. Shout out to the staff and crew over at Thinking Out Loud Network. And you can check us out Tuesdays on Thinking Out Loud Network and on thinkingoutloudnetwork.com. You can check out some of our archive shows on there. And shout out to all of our affiliate stations, including Beat Break 87 FM in Atlanta. What up to you all? Sean Garvey, DJ Rollum, Sharia Thomas, and Diamond Love. We are the Beat Break Morning Show crew, better known as the Beat Break Podcast. Follow us on all your social media at Beat Break Radio, Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram. Got a special guest co-host in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just remind everybody that's listening. You heard me make the announcement a couple of weeks ago that we were looking for a new morning show co-host. It's not too late. It's not too late to send in your inquiry, beatbreakradio@gmail.com. That's the email address where you can send in your submission and let us know if you have what it takes to be the new morning show co-host for the Beat Break Morning Show, Beat Break Podcast. We're going to get into a little bit about that later on. But right now, special guest co-host, we've got a very beautiful lady, and I'm finally just meeting you for the first time.
Yes.
Live and direct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Meeting Sean.
This is incredible. This is a movie you got going on right now. You got Neisha, right?
Yep.
Neisha in the building. Special guest. I need those clappers. I need those clappers in my life. What's going on, Neisha?
Nothing. I'm glad to be here. Finally to meet you.
Yeah.
I'm like so excited to meet you.
This is royalty at its finest.
You.
Yeah. Why do I feel like Eddie Murphy in Coming to America? This is wonderful. Tell the listeners a little bit about yourself. Let's let the listeners know who Neisha is.
Well, I've always had an interest in media and broadcasting, but I currently run a house management service where I take care of children and household duties. So that's what I'm currently doing. And I have a children's picture book that I published as well.
Really? Nice. You have a copy with you?
No.
Or no? Oh, okay.
Sorry about
You
that.
had to rush here to get to the studio.
After working all day, I was like, I'm coming to the studio.
Oh, that is dope. That is dope. So
Definitely.
the kids love you.
They do.
Neisha
And I
love
love
kids.
them.
Neisha love kids.
I am Nanny T.
Nanny T. That's your other name. That's your other.
That's
Alias?
my business name. Yeah.
Okay.
Childcare business.
Gotcha.
Right.
That's dope. That's
you.
dope right there. All right. Yeah. And we got another special guest co-host in the building, but you've been on the morning show before, and we were talking about the new podcast that's airing right now on our affiliate station, Beat Break Radio FM, and Ty and Tia Talks podcast, which has been getting a lot of rave reviews over the past couple of weeks, you know.
Yeah.
Ty in the building.
Hi, it's here.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Good to be back.
How is life treating you after the premiere of Ty and Tia Talks?
Man, great. I mean, just the opportunity to meet, new people. And of course we have the Indie Artist Takeover, which we feature on Ty and Tia Talks, and we've been able to network with a lot of indie artists, and they show us a lot of love. So I've even had people from out of state, hit us up and talk to us and show love. So it's wonderful. It's beautiful. I'm enjoying it.
And you and Tia had an event recently, and it was you all interviewing up and coming new independent unsigned artists and whatnot. Talk to us about that. How was the event overall?
It was great, and shout out to MGB Films. That's making good music go viral. They allow us to come out and interview the indie artists. I mean, it's just great. You get to hear them perform. We take pictures with them. We interview them. We ask them questions, so everyone can, understand a little bit more about them. So it's a good thing. And then we feature their music on our show. So we show love to everyone. So if you are an indie artist out there, check out Tiny Tia Talks. You can send your music to us, and we'll show you love, play you on the station, on the show.
And all the information is on BeatBreakRadioFM.com.
It is, or you can go to Ty and Tia Talks on IG or Ty and Tia Facebook. Yeah, look us up. You can Google us, y'all. You will see pictures of us. Yes.
Now I got Google. They are Googleable.
Yes, we are getting there. We get some notoriety.
Now I gotta say this. Okay, so on last week's show, we mentioned to our listeners that we were going to have some scrippers up in here. We're going to have some scrippers. Not strippers, but scrippers.
Scrippers.
Yeah. And what happened to that? What happened to that, Ty?
Oh, this is our week. Well, you know what? I will say we did reach out to, the adult entertainers, and, they were willing to come. So I guess we'll just have to postpone it to another day because, we can get it on and popping whenever you're ready.
You ready?
Yeah. I'm always ready. I'm always ready. I've been to the strip club before. For the second time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She said the second time.
Right, I was wondering how many. Yeah, I do.
How many times have you went to the strip club?
I've gone to one. I haven't been to any here in Atlanta since I've been here, but I've gone to one in Ohio. So.
Oh, okay. So you've never been to the Magic Cities and the Onyx?
No, I
Wow.
have not.
The
had,
staples of strip
I've
clubs.
had the pleasure to. Even though I have a cousin that works at, I believe one of them Blue Flame or something like that.
Blue Flame? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Look, he's saying.
You like you know the name.
He's been twice.
That's the one you've been at.
No, it wasn't that one. It was a different one.
Okay.
It used to be called Dancers Elite, but now it's called Stilettos. I don't know if it's still on Marietta Street or not, but I've been there before.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So that's actually two strip clubs that I went to. One was Dancers Elite, and the other one was Stilettos. They just happened to be in the same building.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
You plan
True
on
story.
Going anytime soon?
It's summertime. It's summertime, so
Might have to make an appearance.
yeah.
Okay.
But we got to get the scrippers up in here though first, before we venture out.
He's not letting that go.
Yeah.
You make sure you.
Well, no, he shouldn't. That's going to be very difficult when they do. And I think that's going to be fun to, pick their brains too. So, yeah, we still going to make it happen.
We're gonna make it happen.
Yeah, definitely.
Have you ever been to a
Yes,
strip
I
club? You have. Oh, you said that so confidently.
I mean,
Yes,
well,
I have. Like, yes,
to be
absolutely.
honest, I have friends who work. Do you remember the Crazy Horse?
Oh, yeah.
I have friends who work strip clubs, and so.
Nice.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Ain't nothing wrong with it at all. Absolutely. All right.
I support everybody.
Right.
Everybody got to get their hustle.
Right.
Yeah.
They're working people too.
What's that?
They're working people too.
They're working people too.
And most importantly, they're grown.
Right. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
But most of them are like single mothers, believe it or not.
And college students.
Yes.
So, quick way to pay that tuition. It's not cheap.
Right. That'd be interesting.
I've been saying I'm in the wrong business.
You want to be a stripper?
I wanted to be one.
Did you?
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
What would have been your name?
What would have been? I contemplated on Chico Stick.
Oh my goodness.
Pause on that one. Facts.
I didn't even have a
Pause on
comment.
that.
All I could think
So
of
we'll-
is that D4L song. I think Fabo said.
Oh,
Mr. Chico Stick.
Yeah, Laffy Taffy.
Yeah, something like that.
I'll be dancing to that song all night.
Well, shout out to Mr. Chico Stick over here.
Yeah, big shout outs. So yeah, we got a lot to talk about. A lot of things been happening in the headlines, and we're gonna get into that in just a few moments. Like, man, this year has been
Crazy.
crazy.
Yeah.
Off to a good start.
Off to, sarcastically speaking.
But it didn't even ease us in. Like, we didn't
It
even
just-
ease into 2019. We just
Uh,
went,
no, R. Kelly did that. He eased us in. He really eased us in 2019.
Wow.
Yes. I mean, the first thing that popped off in 2019 in the headlines was the Surviving R. Kelly documentary.
Was it?
Yes, it was.
That came in January?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Before Black History Month.
Mm-hmm. It sure did.
Yeah. Case is still ongoing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, still performing for chump change.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at his face. I ain't gotta do what you gotta do. Pay bills.
Support.
I mean, he
child,
has child
child
support.
support. Yes.
Yeah,
I mean,
child support.
that's a bill.
Definitely.
Yes.
I didn't even know he had that many kids that he was paying child support for.
We're talking about R. Kelly now. Has that many children?
I
Don't you find
didn't
it funny?
even know that he had that
You know
many.
what R&B? You know what I found? Like so many R&B singers have so many kids. Yeah, Tank. Who
Who
else?
does Tank have?
I think he got like 6 or 7.
They're crooners, you know, they can
They just don't talk about all of them, obviously.
woo you with that voice. They sing to you, and next thing you know, you in the hospital
You go.
giving birth.
Mm-hmm.
At least they got money. Some of us
Right.
give birth for those who don't even have 15 cents in their pocket. So
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, so we got a lot of stuff to talk about right here on the Beat Break Morning Show. Of course, speaking of birth, the heartbeat bill. I know it's a serious matter. We're gonna get into that.
Boy, oh boy.
Yes, yeah, heartbeat bill, man. Now let me give a disclaimer for everybody that's watching us on Facebook and IG Live
Yes.
and YouTube. I might get beaten up after the show ends because I got a whole lot to say that you all, especially women, may not agree.
And I'm passionate about this. So.
Well, that's
Watch
what you
it.
gave a disclaimer.
I'm just giving you all a disclaimer now.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's going to be some opinionated stuff about it. Like I feel I have mixed feelings and huge opinions about these laws. You know, especially in the state of Georgia and other places. And it's not just the state of Georgia. We're talking about 12 to 15 states.
Which I didn't know. I didn't even know that many states now had signed or, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
So
It's sad. I think it's sad.
It's just, Georgia has a lot of attention because of celebrities affiliated with filming here,
Which they say they're not gonna come back.
So,
Do you believe that? Do you believe
they
they're not
always
gonna
come back. They always come back.
Because we're like considered such a reasonable place to film, So I wonder if they'll stick
Black
to the
Panther.
word.
Black Panther.
I feel that some of them are very adamant about not working, and
They'll
I
keep
feel
their word.
We're actually going to.
So you think we're gonna lose money then?
Well, like I said, I'm in the wrong business. I might as well be a scripper for real. Because that's not going to go away. Not in Georgia. That's not going to go away.
No.
The adult entertainment business, no.
It's been out a long time.
That business won't go away
Anywhere.
anyway.
Yeah, right. Right.
Yeah. So we got that. Of course, we got the 411 wire. You are going to be doing it. Well,
Yeah.
last time Tia was in the building and she did it, but it's your turn.
It is
It's
my
time.
turn,
It's
yes.
time.
Yes. We do take turns in doing things, Tia and I. So, yes, I got some news for you guys. Yeah.
Okay, and of course we got fake news or not fake news coming up later on the program, and the segment is about. I know you got a new Neisha to it, but it is about picking out different stories of the day that's happening across the country and letting the listener know whether it's fake or not.
Okay.
It's fine. It's fine.
That sounds fun.
It's fun.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Alright.
You're going to find out if it's fake or not fake.
Okay.
Fake news or not fake news. Yep. All right. And then later on, we got the DJ Roller Mix. And we are going to bring in a special guest in the studio to talk about managing your credit and credit scores.
Ooh, okay.
Oh,
I
that's
need this.
good. Vital
Yes.
I
information.
spend too much money. I did. Help me.
Well, that's what you get for being in the strip club.
Probably. Making it rain too much.
Thunderstorm, blizzard, everything.
Tsunami.
So we got that coming up. I'm gonna grab an umbrella during the break.
What $1 at?
Yeah. So we got that coming up and more right here on the Beat Break Podcast and the Beat Break Morning Show. Follow us on all your social media at Beat Break Radio. Where can people follow you at, Neisha?
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
I'm with you now.
Oh, okay.
So they see you. Hopefully they'll see me.
So you don't want to give out your Facebook page?
Well, I don't. No, I don't have like that. I don't have a business Facebook page.
Not yet.
No, not yet. But I will get one. But I'm Neisha Bo on Instagram and.
So you know,
YouTube,
you kind of
Neisha
remind
Bo,
me a
too.
little bit. You kind of remind me of More Than Ashley, and my man G, he knows what I'm talking about. So
He's looking. He's like.
okay, so you remember in the early years of Beat Break Radio, we started out in 2010, right? And our alumni co-host was More Than Ashley. So when we get to her and we start talking about where can people follow you at, she would say you can catch me on Georgia 400, Subway,
No.
or at the strip club.
Are you serious?
Yeah, she said it. That was her trademark saying on every show of the Beat Break.
That's cute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But you know, this is radio.
I know.
You want people.
but
You want
this is-
people to follow
yeah,
you.
but
Like
this is my first day here. I have
This
to,
is-
you know.
you gotta ease your way. Like some people gotta ease their way into 2019. Yeah, we was talking a little bit about that over there.
Yes.
Just sounds so bad.
Just shooting me my first day.
No, I didn't do that. I didn't do that. Okay. Well, Ty, where can people follow you at there?
Well, my personal IG is at Ty Baby Banks. And then on Facebook, I am Tafara Ty Baby Banks. And then Ty and Tia. Again, you guys can follow us on Facebook at Ty Tia, on IG at Ty and Tia Talks, and we have a Ty and Tia website that's going to be up and running real soon. So you guys can follow us and just Google us, baby.
See, she's not new though. Like she's already established. She
She's
has these
established.
things. You're not first day new.
No, I'm not.
See,
No.
so you don't have to follow her.
Yeah, I got that.
All right already.
Okay, we'll get there.
All
Next
right.
time.
We're learning. We're learning. All right. So we're gonna get into. Let's see. We're gonna get into. What should we talk about? Aisha? We're gonna talk about. Definitely talk about the abortion bill, the heartbeat bill. What else we're gonna talk about? Aisha Curry, Steve Harvey, and some more good stuff.
I want to know your opinion on Aisha.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna need all the women to come in here when we talk about it. Okay.
Which one? All of it?
All of them, pretty much.
Yeah.
Abortion,
Yeah.
Aisha, yeah.
Yeah. This a lot of stuff up in here. Oh, John Singleton. We gotta talk about John Singleton.
I met him before.
Really?
I met him. I had just moved to Atlanta, and I was working at the Hooters Underground. Do you remember the Hooters Underground?
Yes, I do.
Look at him smiling. And he
Strip
came in and
clubs
he
and
signed a
Hooters.
napkin. See, look, I'm just saying that's the past. But he was so sweet. Like I'll never forget that
What an
that
honor.
moment. Yeah, I'll never forget that.
Yeah,
Okay.
going to some.
All right, so we got that and more coming up right here on the Beat Break Morning Show. Y'all keep it live. DJ roll 'em in the mix right here on the Beat Break Morning Show. Welcome back to the Beat Break Morning Show. Yeah, follow us, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Beat Break Radio. You already know what it is. The architect, Sean Garvey, and my special guest co-host is no other than Neisha. And we also got Ty in the building from Ty and Tia Talks, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. And we have a special guest who just stopped by to the Thinking Out Loud Network Studios. And she's going to talk to us all things considered credit. Credit is something that you need, boys and girls. Yes. And good news for me is that I just found out that my credit score is 740.
Anybody looking for a man? 740, okay?
You're looking for a man with good credit?
I'm telling you, a lot of us are looking for men with good credit. What you talking about?
Oh, okay.
Can I be an
Because you can get that house. Right.
That's all I want.
Just, I don't even need the car. Just sign me
User.
on here and let my.
True.
Get already, you don't even need pre-qualification. You already approved for that house.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of women looking for a man that can get a house right off bat and ready to start that family. Ladies and gentlemen,
Ladies and
Sure.
gentlemen, you already know. You already know.
740 in the building.
They DMing Sean right now as we speak.
Go ahead and DM me. Starr, Kells in the building. Alright, how you doing?
I'm feeling good.
Good.
Living my best life and trying to
Ain't trying to study.
center my energy.
Right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And off the air, we were talking a little bit about it. You consider yourself what, the credit Starr queen?
Starr Credit Queen. My name
okay.
is Starr, and I just credit queen, so it just made sense. Starr Credit Queen, you
I
know.
like it.
And it's
Okay.
Starr with 2 R's. Because people be trying to find me on Instagram and Facebook, and they're like, I was looking for you. And I'm just like,
Just now.
Starr with 2 R's Credit Queen.
Okay. All right. I like that. Got a nice ring to it. Yeah. I'm not just saying that because you're very, very beautiful, but it does have a nice ring to it. Absolutely.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So sweet.
Good credit, and he's a charmer.
I know.
Okay.
I'm watching him. His new name's 740.
Okay, so all things considered credit,
Mhm.
you know, we have people that are watching us and listening to us, whether they are in a position where they have bad credit or no credit.
Right.
What are some of the factors that come into play that could cause a person to fall into default or to have bad credit?
Well, I'll just say the general factor is life. What happens is, you know, we tend to get behind on things, or honestly, we tend to not be responsible. So say we might overshop with our credit card, and then we get negatives on our credit card accounts. Negative makes your credit go down tremendously, like 30 to 40%. There may be things such as bankruptcies, mortgage, like tax liens and stuff like that. Shopping cards, like what people have all of these different shopping cards. They want to swipe, and then when it's time to pay, they're paying late. You know, student loans, medical bills is a big one. People are just like crazy about medical bills too. Things like that can put you back a lot, especially on your credit, because they report that on your credit history.
Mm-hmm. But you know, it just seems like getting a credit card is just an easy fix to a situation or to a problem that you're in. Like, okay, I'm going to get this credit card. I'm only going to use it for emergencies only, right? That's what the average person would say. I'm just only going to use it for emergencies only. But then, you know, you may use it for one particular emergency, but then you might find yourself wanting to buy a nice shirt or something, you know what I mean? And you thinking that, you already think in your mind that, you know, I already signed off on the paperwork and I know I have to pay this amount of money or this amount of interest per month, so I'm good. But it can be detrimental at the same time.
I mean, I'm just gonna keep it real.
Keep it 100.
A lot
Keep it
of
100.
people, what they do is they get these credit cards, and you know how y'all was talking about the strip club earlier. They be, because you can cash out at the strip club with a credit card, and if your limit is 10 stacks, 10,000, you like, oh, I'm finna turn up tonight, you know, and you're thinking, you know, I'm gonna pay the bare minimum, and I'm gonna be okay with my credit card. Which that is not the case. If you get a credit card, and you don't have to just save it for emergencies, you just have to be responsible. Meaning, I spent $500, I'm going to pay back $500. People are teaching people, oh, only pay back 30%. FICO is going to be like, you can't pay back all of this. And so they want to see somebody who can pay back all of their money, not just 20% or 30% of their money. So the main thing is literally the fact that people get these credit cards and they don't do the right thing with them. It's not your money. So if you keep that in mind, that it's not your money, it doesn't belong to you, you would want to go ahead and knock that out of the park when you get that chance. I tell people all the time, no matter how much you spend, just make sure you pay that back. All of it, not 30% of it, immediately. That's what I do. What I do is I'm like, okay, I'm going to spend $500,
Okay.
and I'm going to pay it right back on my card. And I leave it at that. My credit score popping. Bam.
and so we know how it can be difficult for a person's credit to be bad when they can't afford or they can't get a home, right? Or they can get a certain car from the car lot. But it can even get worse if you're trying to apply for a particular job, because there are jobs out there that do check your credit, your credit history, your background credit check, right?
They do. I work with a lot of corporate accounts where they check their employees get checked and their pre-employees get checked. So say you're a prospect for getting hired, they check their credit. And then also if you're already on their job, some of these companies, you get paid a lot of money and they want to make sure you're making the right decisions, and they do annual checks and they actually take them through classes, because I teach classes and help people kind of like manage their credit and stuff like that and finances in life. Yeah, it's important.
Okay, so how can we help those that have bad credit or no credit at all? How can they recover from all of that?
Well, one, you can hire me and I can definitely take a 500 to 700 turn up.
She got me doing that dance again. Turn it up.
But, a couple of basic things, just be mindful of what you're applying for as far as credit cards. Just know your responsibility when you're doing that. If you do not have credit at all, a secure credit card is always the way to go, because you're using your own money, which is great, fantastic. Another thing is seek free consultation. Some people don't know what to do, to build credit, or if they have bad credit. I do free consultations too. I don't charge for that. But I think it's very important to ask an expert, ask somebody that really knows and really will help you with that.
Okay. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. That's my computer. I forgot to put it on mute. But but no, this is some very valuable information. Starr, Kells in the building, ladies and gentlemen. And your title position is?
I just be out here helping people change their lives. I'm a transitional life coach. That's what I do. I transition somebody from one thing to the next. I level them up in life,
You level them up, including their credit.
Including their credit, all their finances, help them manage their life, business-wise, financially.
Okay. Now, Neisha, you have a question or a comment?
Well, what advice would you give someone? Okay, they're already in debt.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously if they're in debt, they don't have the money to pay on the credit card. What would you tell them to do?
Well, I would first tell them not to file bankruptcy. Everybody wants to go run and file bankruptcy. You need to look at your options, because you can go to a credit expert, and it doesn't necessarily have to be me. It could be another credit expert, and they can help you with that debt that's on your credit. Because a lot of people do not know that people are placing things on your credit history illegally. Some of the things like repos, some of those things are being placed with illegally because they're being placed without your permission.
Oh.
Yeah. So if the lack of knowledge is the reason why people are kind of like stagnant and frantic, when it comes to their credit. But when you seek an expert
like you
can learn these things and they can help you. And also there are free resources. There are free people that you could call, law firms and stuff like that will actually give you free consultation about how you can get out of that debt without having to file bankruptcy. So don't do that first at all.
Mm-hmm. What do you say to a young high school student who's getting ready to go to college, and one of the first few things that he sees or that she sees in their mailbox is a credit card? Like, ooh, okay. Because I've heard plenty of experts say they should take the credit card, rip it to shreds, and throw them in the trash can. But I have heard other experts say they should use it for emergencies only, and if there's no emergencies, if they do not touch it at all, it helps build their credit or make their credit score look good. What do you say about that?
So I'm neutral to that, because it depends on the circumstance of the student. Because you got to realize if you're not educated before you go into college about finances and credit, then you might not need to touch a credit card because you weren't taught in your surroundings what to do with that credit card and the significance of it or the consequences if it's abused. So if it's a student like myself who went to college and got a credit card and had nothing, didn't know anything about it, it didn't help my credit because I didn't know. I just thought, some free money on the credit card I could swipe. But if they are knowledgeable or if they seek that knowledge first and they understand how to use the credit card, I think it can be very beneficial for a college student because when they come out, they'll definitely have established credit if they do utilize it the right way.
Okay. Starr, Kells in the building, talking about all things credit. We want to hear from you. Comment at Beat Break Radio on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram if you have questions for the Starr Credit
Queen.
Starr Credit
You better
Queen.
say it right.
Queen.
Starr Credit Queen, don't play with me.
Oh, wait a minute.
You better say it right so they can know Starr Credit Queen.
Oh snap! She just went gangster. She's gangster, man. Wow. Starr Credit Queen. You better holler at her. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Beat Break Radio. We want to hear from you, and you can also DM me at Sean Garvey on Facebook if you have a question or comment for Starr Kells. Now, what do you say to someone? Let's just switch it just a little bit for someone that wants to get into the business that you are in and wants to help people, get their credit score to where it needs to be. Like, what advice can you give to those that want to be in the position that you're in?
As far as advice, I would say, I guess this is kind of like a general question. So if you want to do what I do, I definitely am open to having partnerships. I do have a plethora, I would say, because I am nationwide. So I don't mind helping others start credit agencies. And if you want to look into doing it on your own, because I know there's a lot of people out here that's actually doing it on their own and they just want to know the correct way to do it without, messing somebody's credit up. Right. Then with them, I would say just like I would tell a customer to seek expert consultation, they should do the same thing to help build their business up and make it a credible.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Did you have a question, Ty?
Well, I actually used to work for a big Fortune 500 bank, yes. So, and I was a specialist in the credit card department. So I learned a lot. And I think one thing that we lack when we were talking about, high school going to college, we don't teach these kids. I would have customers call in, they're putting their 5-year-old daughter on their credit card as an authorized user. Mm-hmm. So that way when Sally gets to be 18, her credit score is perfect. And it's like, I think in the African American community, we don't know. You're not, or they're like, oh, my credit's perfect. I'm not putting you on my credit card because you're going to mess me up. Not even knowing that if you add them as an authorized user and don't give them the card, you're still helping them, and obtaining a better score. So I just think it's something that should be implemented in the school system at an early age to learn how to do that. Because when you see other ethnicities, having these great credit scores. I mean, I've seen a credit card for over 100,000, the credit limit. Mm-hmm. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Wow. Me too. Go buy whatever you want, and it's like, but who's teaching us in our community that type of stuff? And I think that's something that should be implemented more. You feel the same way? I
definitely do feel the same way. I have been volunteering for over 9 years, educating teenagers in high school and young adults on the importance of credit. And I do that voluntarily. I do a lot of volunteering in my local community, Atlanta, West Side, Oakland City, what's up? Anyways, but I do a lot of helping in the community because I do believe that it's a vital thing and I think it's very important, especially for the new generation coming in. These people are going to be more independent, more self-employed, and they need to know more about credit and, building their personal and business credit, and especially the kids that look just like us, So I agree with you and I am on it, but, we do need more people. We do. We need.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, for those that are listening, of course, there's three credit agencies. You have Experian, you have Equifax, and you have TransUnion. Like, what's the difference between the three?
Well, the ugly truth about these credit agencies, LLCs, is they're a business just like I am a business, and anybody else that owns a business is a business. They're competitors. They are not friends. So that's why when you look at scores and you wonder why, oh, well, my Equifax score says such and such, and then my TransUnion score says such and such. Well, because they're getting these reports from different branches, different companies. They're not all working simultaneously together. So say, for instance, you get a car, you get late on a payment. Maybe TransUnion may have some type of contract with that company that says, hey, if we partner up with you, we can report these people who are being late. So TransUnion might have that contract with them, not Equifax. So also sometimes that's why you see things on Equifax, on that history, and you don't see it on the other one because they're competitors. They're not together. Okay, so that's one thing I want people to always know, that they not teaming up together. They going against each other, and they're going against you as a consumer, or whatever.
And see, that's one thing that bothered me in the past. It would be like I would have a great credit score with this particular agency, but my credit score would not look so good with this different credit agency.
Right.
And I think that's like what frustrates a lot of people, frustrates a lot of Americans, is you have these three different companies, these three different credit agencies, and you can go and apply for a job, or apply for a house, or apply for a car, and they all check different agencies.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yep. And that's including with FICO. A lot of people, FICO does their own scoring, and that's when people who work in a bank and stuff, or in finances, they are familiar with FICO. But I always follow the FICO formula when I teach people how to build their credit, because most of the people are looking to buy a house, or get a car, or own a business at some point, kind of like that common ground. Of course we do basic things like, hey, I want to get an apartment, just have more credit to do more things with. But those things, I go by the FICO score because they outweigh Equifax, TransUnion, and stuff like that when it comes to particular things.
Okay. All right. We're still taking your questions and comments right here on Beat Break Podcast with yours truly, Sean Garvey, Neisha, and Ty from Ty and Tia Talks Podcast. All right, so we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to have you stick around because we got some topics we're going to touch on. Yeah. But before we get into the break, let the people know how they can get in contact with you for consultation, advice, questions, and more information about what you do.
If you want to get in contact with me, you can always find me at Starr with 2 R's, Credit Queen on Facebook and Instagram. Starr with 2 R's, Credit Queen at Facebook or Instagram. Or you can call me at 678-856-7827, 678-856-7827. That is my business line. Hit me up.
Okay, and can we get the country out of debt? Do you think it is going to ever be possible that we can get out of this financial crisis that we in? We in a lot of doo-doo. We are in a lot of doo-doo debt.
Are you seriously asking me that question?
I just want to know what your answer would be.
No. I think we can try our best and work at it. Personally in our communities. However, the country, the whole country.
Yes, the country that we are living in right now.
I do not agree with that, and I'm very optimistic, but I am a realist, okay? And in real life, for real.
Okay. I'm Starr Credit Queen in the building. She's going to get us out of this mess. I'm telling you, they don't call you the Starr Credit Queen for nothing.
Nothing at all.
All right. So we're going to take a brief break from the radio, ladies and gentlemen. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Beat Break Radio. Sean Garvey. Neisha. First time.
First time.
You can tell it's the first time.
Yes, first time.
Time into your talk podcast.
Tia Talks Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m.
And shouts to Tia, by the way. She's checking in with us. Tia couldn't make it.
Yeah, she couldn't, so I'm half of the duo today, but it's all right. We're here, we showing love and support. We get better, bro.
Yes, definitely get better. All right. Coming up, we got some more hot topics we're going to talk about right here on the Beat Break Morning Show or Beat Break Podcast.
The word on the street is she's got the 411 on the latest news and entertainment. It's the 411 Wire with Diamond Love on the Beat Break Morning Show.
No, ladies and gentlemen, Diamond Love is not back in the building yet. All right. For the 411 Wire, we have Ty.
Yes.
Right here, Ty, and for all of my IG people, we're gonna bring you back on in just a few moments. But here is Ty with the 411 Wire, letting you know what's going on in the entertainment world. What's the 411?
Well, first, we want to shout out Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. As many of you
Okay, now stop.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
We have now officially going to create a segment called the Kardashian Report. Boom, boom. We got to get a sound effect.
Sound effect, yeah.
We got to get a sound effect.
That'd be
The
interesting.
Kardashian Report.
It is that.
Or Kardashian or Kim K.
The KK report.
The KK Report.
Kanye and Kim.
That's the clean sound.
Yeah, some money.
Yeah.
Money bags.
For real.
So what's going on in the world of Kim and Ye,
No,
the
I mean,
Kardashians?
they have gone forth and been fruitful. So they do procreate. So they welcomed their fourth child last Thursday.
And we did talk about that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the baby boy, he was born via surrogate, of course. So they now have Northwest, she's 5, Chicago West, she's 1, St. West is 3, and then Psalm West is the new baby.
Psalm like in the Bible?
Mm-hmm.
So they already decided on a name. They calling it, what's it called?
Psalm. Yeah.
Psalm.
Like the song. Yeah.
Like Psalm 316 or something like that.
Like
Okay.
PSA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of pretty though.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's suitable for their clan, but
Well, you recently Kanye, recently I've seen videos of him doing gospel music,
Sunday service.
Yeah, so
And Coachella.
maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe that was an inspiration.
Okay. So they're gonna name the next kids like Abraham and
Isaac.
Peter,
Moses.
Joshua, Jesus.
Jesus.
Hey.
I told y'all in the last show that you need to go ahead and call the baby Ray J, Chris Webber,
Sean.
Reggie Bush.
Oh,
Sean.
The game. Don't forget the game. He in there too.
Oh, that's
Oh, you gotta put the game in
I
there?
forgot about
I'm
the
just
game.
saying. He said he smashed the whole clan except for
And Nick Cannon, right?
Courtney. And
Nick.
Oh, Nick, that's
Yeah,
right. Because he came for Nick.
he did. Oh.
they keep it in the family for
I'm
sure.
still because some people say that it was actually Nick that hit it first
Before Ray J?
before Ray J.
But Nick ain't made no video.
I
Nick
wouldn't
ain't-
either. I
Nick
wouldn't
ain't
That's
either.
not his character.
Nick ain't gonna tell his business
No.
like
What's the
that.
brag on though? I mean, if I was a dude, what's the brag?
Well, before everybody else, I guess I could see why Ray J.
That's like I'm the first to hit. You know how Ray J was just like.
Right.
So Nick Cannon could be like, I was the first to hit. I think he could come back out with a single and maybe make something
I
happen.
hit it again.
I hit it first.
Probably another one.
I hit it first.
DJ Khaled, another one.
Yeah.
get DJ Khaled on the track and
They
say
like
another
some-
one, another one.
Like some brown-skinned men, so you know.
Oh.
I'm just saying. Ty
my
keep it
God.
real. They do like our men. So
They do.
Okay.
y'all ready for the next part?
No,
am.
another
Next.
one.
Okay. So recently, it looks like Young Thug went off because he went to a KFC in Florida.
Oh,
Oh my God! I just.
You know how
Oh,
it
you
is when
said
hungry?
Florida. That's
You know how
yeah.
it is when you hungry and you anticipating.
I'm hangry.
Yeah. So he went, and unfortunately, they told him they had ran out of chicken. So
How you gonna run out of chicken at a chicken
At a
joint?
KFC?
yeah,
At KFC,
who's the manager?
Like all the chicken? Like
Yeah,
even the
they
chicken
were-
bites?
They were.
You got the
Chicken
coleslaw
bites,
on
the
deck
popcorn
though,
chicken.
man.
Yeah.
You got the coleslaw if you
The
want
wings.
some.
Yeah.
And he went to IG and he said, we in Florida, we at KFC, talking about they ain't got no chicken. How the bleep? You ain't got no chicken in KFC. I'm gonna call the police on these bleeps, bruh. I'm gonna call 12 on these hoes. So, yeah, he was very
He was mad.
irate about that. Which I understand. Like, come on, KFC.
You don't mess with people and their chicken.
Yeah, you just gonna sell mashed potatoes? And, like, why didn't you shut down for the day then? Send everybody home.
They gotta sell the sides, girl. Ain't
But they
nobody.
could have made an emergency run to another KFC, you know? So,
You're right. That's smart. They could have borrowed some chicken
Whoever
from
over
the
that
other
franchise
KFC.
said, you're not shutting down. You're going to sell these mashed potatoes and
Mhm.
this coleslaw and these biscuits.
Mhm.
So I mean, the KFC and Young Thugger, they need to work something out because that could be an endorsement deal for Young Thugger.
They could.
They really can.
work something
Because
out.
that could go viral.
Did they reach out back then?
No, they said they
They
got
gonna
No
give
further
them.
comment?
They gonna give them a year free of chicken.
They're probably scared of them.
Yeah, especially after you talking like that, calling them hoes and stuff. I wouldn't reach
But
out
you know,
to.
the police wouldn't have did nothing anyway, though. I'm surprised you said he was going to call the police.
So he couldn't go to,
Especially in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was just being sarcastic. You think he gonna call a popo for real?
I think he
On
would have called some
KFC?
homies and had them like spray paint her.
Right, right.
Make the insurance claim type of thing. You know?
well, I mean, he couldn't go to another chicken joint like a Popeyes or something.
Apparently, they didn't know he was a celebrity in my mind because, like I said, they would have been immediately on the phone like, "Hey, we need you guys to bring some chicken." over
Somebody
here."
bring some chicken.
True.
Yeah, that-
Had to be another one in
Please,
that
But
area.
he seems like the
Chicken
type that would have
real quick.
said who he was when he walked up to the counter.
He went out there saying, I don't know. Oh, rapping, my bad, young guy. Rapping. Rap singing.
If it ain't Metro, I'm gonna shoot you. I'm gonna shoot you.
Right,
411 Wire, what else is going on?
So it's rumored that the beautiful Rihanna and her prepping for the 31-year-old to get pregnant. So
Okay.
according to an affiliate, she's been changing her lifestyle, especially her eating habits. So it's like, you know, they've been talking about possibly carrying a baby. So I think it'll be dope if she does finally have a child.
Get a little Riri.
And he's a billionaire. I mean, she
Right.
already got her own money, but he's a billionaire. Girl, you set for a life. And another life after that. You hear me? So,
She like Janet Jackson and Mariah Carey all mixed up in one already.
but younger, she's 31, you know. So.
Hey, ching ching.
All I'm thinking about is what that baby gonna look like. Sorry.
Oh.
Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm. all the money in the world, girl, but still, mm-mm.
You don't think he's attractive?
Mm-mm.
I don't know what
And
to
he's
do.
kind of more like a giant, awkward-looking kind of man.
But usually when you have one unattractive mate and one attractive mate, they make a beautiful.
They do
Two
say
beautiful
ugly people make
don't
pretty
make a
babies.
Two
beautiful
ugly
baby.
people do definitely
Yes,
make a
they
pretty
do.
baby.
Two pretty people.
Baby,
It's just
though.
grace.
Baby. Pretty
Oh, so you
baby.
saying when they transition into adulthood? they-
Yeah, reality hits when you get in the puberty, okay?
Oh no!
I'm just
Oh,
saying.
no! Like
Well,
Hey, there were a lot of people that were very skeptical when they saw Jay-Z get Beyonce pregnant. Like, I'm just saying.
well, their kids are still young, so if we're going
No
to
comment on that.
yeah, no comment.
Because I like Jay-Z and Beyonce, you cool, so no comment.
We don't want the Beehive to come after us.
Yeah, Beehive, they real, I seen what they did to other people.
Mm-hmm.
They quiet nasty like Beyonce. So they sneak up on you. So,
They
you
sting
know,
you.
that won't say nothing.
No, that's right.
They shank you. They don't even
Mhm.
know. They shank
You dead, and you still
You
walking.
don't know why.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, that's my 411.
411 Wire.
Yes.
Yeah.
FaceTime,
Yeah.
FaceTime.
Thoughts. Right here on the Beat Break Morning Show. All right, time now to get into some topics, ladies and gentlemen. I think we're going to start off light. We're going to start off something light here, and then we're going to get into some serious stuff, you know, especially coming out of the 411 Wire. because we still got some stuff that are trending on social media from an entertainment aspect. So of course, we all know the news about Steve Harvey, about your boy Steve Harvey. His show is getting canceled.
Bye, bye, bye.
Yeah, no more Steve Harvey. What do you all feel? How do you all feel about that? I mean, because I'm in a room with three beautiful women, and you know, over the past few years, the Steve Harvey show, or Steve Harvey, or now Steve, he has attracted a lot of women to his show over the years, and made a lot of money, and got a lot of money, and given relationship advice to women, of course, in which most of the stuff I don't agree with. I do understand where some stuff he says, where he's coming from. I always felt like, and this is just me talking, you know, because I'm not the only guy in the room, so gee, I'm gonna need you to help me out. But I just felt like throughout the years of him airing his show on network TV, like I always felt that he took most of the women's side and not so much of the guy's side. Like I feel like
that was a smart play.
He was strategic.
And
Yes.
that makes sense
That's
because
right.
usually the woman is right and the man is wrong. So
even
we're
when
not
he's
gonna go there.
even when he's right, at
The women
times.
buy the books.
And who gonna spend
He
the
get the
money?
movie tickets.
Exactly. Okay.
He was smart.
Who gonna read the book?
But I'm the type of person that wants to hear both sides of it, because there's two sides to every story. I don't want to just hear just one particular side. I need to hear both sides.
I agree.
But
However, Steve Harvey was funny. He was
was
old,
funny.
funny.
of course, he's talented.
Yeah.
Talented. But what do you all think about his show getting canceled?
I think it's not. I mean, I don't like that it is. I'm going to be honest. Even though people may not have agreed with certain of his ways, certain ways that he delivered certain things and stuff like that, I do feel like he was one of those faces of our community. Also, he actually contributed to helping a lot of people's business grow. When he, put those new people on the stage and let people know, hey, this is the product they're selling, this is the business that they're doing. A lot of those people, business started to blossom and bloom because of Steve Harvey's blessing in allowing them to get on the show.
Yeah.
I know somebody personally, well, a couple of people personally that had went on his show and became even more successful than they were because it's coming on the show, man and woman. And I feel like also, he's just a shining light. His positive energy, he's funny, he is definitely one of those leaders that he's in the community, also involved in the community, and also a powerful face. And people do listen to him. So for me, I feel kind of sad.
I think, yes, he's all that, but I think he had a shadiness to him,
Uh-oh.
an undercover side to him.
Right.
And I think no matter how successful you are in life or quote unquote powerful, karma will come back. It will come back and bite you. And so I think he was starting to get to the point that he was untouchable, and I think like the universe was like, okay, we need to knock you down a little notch. Because I think a lot goes on behind the scenes that we don't know. And I think the interview with Monique, did you see the interview? Did y'all see
I
the
saw
interview with
it.
I
Monique?
did see that.
She was
So why
kind of
Oprah
bringing
ain't knocked down?
not everybody's
Why Tyler
time.
Perry
It's
ain't
not,
knocked down?
but it's not everybody's time. You know
they
what I'm
got
saying?
their
You
time.
don't know what you don't. Do you remember Tom Cruise when he went crazy?
Oprah, she older now. We're in her time.
Yeah, but still,
She got that
you,
Michael Jackson documentary.
She did.
People
That's
been
true. That's
Attacking
true.
her over that.
even I think it
That's
was
true.
removed from the
But
site or something
she
like that.
explained to Trevor Noah why she did it. So she's been getting attacked.
Yeah, no one's untouchable. So I think it just was his time to get knocked down a
But
little
do you
bit.
think it was some of the, like, okay, so, the past few months or, the past 2 years or so, like, we've been hearing stuff about Steve Harvey lashing out at his team, and then, of
He
course...
fired them without notice. Remember
What?
that? Yeah, he fired them without notice when
How
they
many people?
moved. I forgot. like how
I'm
many.
about to put in an application to work for Steve,
Yeah.
but... I mean,
Remember when he moved studios and all that? When he
Uh-huh.
moved, yeah, that's when he fired his team without notice.
Oh, wow.
That's when all the backlash came. That's what I'm saying. It's a lot of shady stuff that I think has gone on.
I did not hear that.
Really? That was like
Because I
everywhere.
went to Miami when he spoke at the 10X, and Steve was giving me Jesus God life.
No, we not even gonna go.
I'm just saying, because
Because you
Steve likes to
Christian,
thank the Lord.
Yeah.
So if you gonna fire people without notice, hold on, they got families
But he also
and
said
bills.
he's a work in progress. That's how you smooth over
Oh,
there.
that's how you
That's
do
what
that.
every human being
Yeah,
says.
that's what you
Wow.
say.
I've been working on myself.
You're a work in progress.
I think in a positive light though, because I'm an 80s baby. I really can't think of another black man being on TV except for Arsenio Hall having a
Yeah.
show.
I agree.
Am I wrong? Was there anybody else that had?
Not long.
Magic Johnson had one for a while.
Unless,
Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson.
unless
He had a talk show for a while.
Les did too.
that
The
reminds-
motivational
Les Brown?
speaker.
Very good.
Yeah, Les was
Yeah.
on
I
briefly.
wasn't aware. So, you
And
know.
then there was Don Cornelius, but not on that.
Oh, well,
Right.
of course.
But no
yeah.
one's bigger than Steve. Definitely
Yeah.
as a
You know, so for that, that gap, Arsenio Hall to like Steve, it's like, wow, he paved the way for now.
Definitely.
Say you want to start a talk show, he's kind of
Yeah.
paved that way for you now, where it's more common to see your face.
And it's okay.
I'm need another talk show. I need
Because
more
white
money.
people love Steve like they
Yes,
like
they do.
Oprah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, he crossed over. Yes.
Yeah,
They
now-
said he will continue.
Now,
on.
see, here's the thing, because the media has been eating this up. They made it seem as if Steve Harvey's career in entertainment is over. But no, he's currently hosting Showtime at the Apollo, and of course, he still got his gig with Family Feud and Celebrity Family Feud, and he's even still going to be hosting the Miss Universe competition.
Oh, okay. Well, he's still.
And he's a speaker. He's a motivational speaker. Steve Harvey, I went, like I said, and saw him spoke amongst 30,000 people. He's a motivational speaker also, so he ain't going nowhere. He's still going to get them coins.
Oh, yeah, he's still.
He's going to be relevant. Always.
But he got knocked down a little.
I'm going to speak it into existence because even though we are good and we are bad, that's how people are. And sometimes people feed that evil more than they feed the good side. But I'm gonna keep feeding the positive. Steve Harvey, he the man in these
we all
streets.
want him to
You know
win.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, we
I want him to win, even though he may not be the perfect person. And a lot of those celebrities have stories, very, very unwelcoming stories that we haven't heard of, that other people know about. It's just his so happened to be exposed, but he is a work in progress. But, he's not perfect, but I still look at him as someone in our community that I like him.
And you spoke of Arsenio Hall earlier, and I feel like he is good for a late night talk show. I think there could be an opportunity for him, a potential opportunity to take his show to that level of doing late night.
Who, Steve?
Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey.
Yeah.
That would be good because we don't have, an African American or black man hosting late night, talk shows.
Arsenio tried it, and I
Yeah,
thought,
he did try to come back again.
He did.
He
Yeah.
did, and
I
it
think for
was
a
actually
year.
kind of
I
good.
thought so,
But
too.
I think what happened was people really didn't know for sure because people like, no, that must be reworms, and I'm like, no, that's really him. Like he's
Yeah, I thought it
really
was
bad.
good too.
yeah, that was Prince actually sitting in the audience
Yes.
with him.
Oh, they were homies, so. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Steve Harvey could do that though. I really believe that would be great for him, and also because he's a comedian and he can do another spin on it. With more comical things and stuff like that. I think that would be a great, little sneak through for him, leaving from transitioning from that, going to that. I think that was good.
And just to let everyone know that's been sleeping under a rock, that's not the only show that Steve will
Nope.
be leaving. It's also Little Big Shots on NBC.
No,
Yes.
that's the cutest show he's
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
And they're gonna get another cute host.
What's going on?
The sarcasm is real.
The power to be are behind the scenes using their power.
Check this out. Now, Kelly Clarkson, right, from from American Idol back in the day, she's taking over that daytime slot, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for Little Big Shots, actress comedian Melissa McCarthy is coming on as the host for Little Big Shots. Yes.
Well, I like her.
I do too. I
I
like
mean,
her
she-
too.
she's
She's been doing some
not-
guest spots in
I-
Ellen lately.
I'm not gonna hate on her.
So these are two white
But
women
still.
coming for a black man's job.
See, why you want to take it? Why I gotta be that? Why I gotta be the white woman taking the black man's job? Maybe they're a better fit for. Like, I think Melissa would do well with that show with little kids. I don't think Steve fit that show.
I thought it was the cutest thing because he's like a old adult, you know, and they're younger kids. He don't fit the in-between stuff, but, you know, old people and young people, they get along.
Yeah.
Little kids and old people.
Now, Kelly Clarkson, I don't know how
Like,
that's gonna.
That's gonna be
strange.
weird.
One. You know, I feel like they would have did better having Fantasia, but
Right.
Wait. Fantasia on a daytime talk show?
Yeah, she
What
would
you
have
doing?
took them shoes off and gave
The
you
Queen
a little
Latifah
twerk.
had a talk show.
This one thing I'm gonna say about black
There's a
women,
difference
because we
between
black
Queen
women, we got soul, you know,
Right. She would have
The realness.
and people are able to connect to us. So I just think
I think
she
that
would have
would
been
be-
more personable. To
I
me.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
You don't agree, officer?
Kelly Clarkson, she's not relevant to me. Why would I be interested in?
I don't
even think she has
I
much of
don't
a
even
personality.
understand why.
She don't have
She's
much of a
very
personality.
dry.
Yeah,
She gives me dry.
definitely.
I mean, dry.
I mean, we talking about American Idols now. I mean,
She's a singer. Singer, talk show host.
I'll bring Jennifer Hudson on. Not
I mean, I don't
Fantasia
think
on a
Jennifer
daytime
Hudson
talk
has a good
I
personality.
think you don't think Fantasia?
I would
Fantasia's
She's
listen.
gonna be
like a
screaming during
homegirl.
the. She's gonna be scaring a
She
lot
would
of
take
white
off her
women during the
shoes.
daytime. I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
But she's about positive energy.
They would
Right.
love her.
I don't think she would act that way for her talk show.
They would love her. I think they
Yeah.
would
It's
because she
different.
got that spirit.
Mhm.
It's different.
And she's been through a lot as a woman, so
Mhm.
you know there's that connecting factor.
We need
there,
something different. We need something
Yeah.
new.
Or
something
Keke
fresh.
Palmer.
Ooh.
She
Why? What little Keke at?
Ooh,
Bring Keke.
That would be good.
Can nobody tell me?
That would be good.
He be sitting down in the chair.
Look, she would be good.
She would be great. Keke, get up. Keke Palmer.
All right, now you can slow down
Yeah,
here.
obviously would be great.
My arms are not that strong. I cannot pick you up.
Kiki, she can always get different gigs, man. She's a talented. She's a
Yeah,
talented.
it's
She's a talented actress. I seen her at the premiere screening of Pimp a few months ago. Shout out to Kells, the DJ. She's great, but not for no daytime talk show. No. We've been down that road before. She did have her own show on BET.
Mm-hmm.
She did her thing, but
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, it didn't work. No.
So who do you think would be a good
Take
Daytime.
Steve's spot.
Take Steve. Wanda Sykes.
Wanda?
Yeah.
I could see her solely like maybe on Comedy Central,
Yeah, she's too controversial.
but not on like
No.
across all stations. I
I
really.
agree.
I mean, who would
She's
you
an
see?
acquired, you know, taste.
That can come behind Oprah and Steve.
But why they gotta come out? Wendy Williams would have. I mean, I would have never
Wendy-
thought somebody like Wendy Williams would be in the place that she's in now.
People love gossip.
But that's what I'm saying. So he's saying Fantasia because this and that.
Yeah.
But Wendy Williams is not your cookie cutter host. I mean, she's.
You know who I think would be dope?
Charlamagne.
Alicia Keys or Chili from TLC.
Chili.
Like
Chili would be
Chili.
a cute
I
song.
think that would
Yes.
be. Yeah.
She got a little spice to her at the
Yes.
same
I think
time.
Chili.
She a little
Yeah.
dry
Maybe
though
for-
to me though, a little dry.
Maybe for a kitchen. Maybe for a
Just a little
kitchen.
dry.
For a cooking show. Maybe for a cooking
Yeah,
show. Cooking with chili.
Mhm. Now that would be
That's
yeah.
dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
That would be
Yeah.
dope.
Make sure you trademark that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would definitely.
Hey,
be.
Aisha Curry, you ready to have a little cooking show?
Oh,
I think she already
Already?
has one. Doesn't she already have one?
Mm-hmm.
She already has one.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's cute or whatnot.
All right, Aisha Curry Chicken. Right, okay.
Oh.
Punchline City. Okay.
Which brings us to the next topic.
Yeah. I didn't want to talk about it, but people on social media have been begging me to talk about it. So of course, everyone knows about Aisha and her recent talk with Jada Pinkett Smith on Red Table Talk about pretty much not getting as much attention from men versus her husband Steph Curry getting a lot of attention from women. A lot of women on social media, even some fellas, came at her, and a lot of people from Jada Pinkett Smith to Gabrielle Union all defended her. Right? So Gabrielle Union, she recently went on Twitter and defends Aisha Curry by saying, quote, she was honest and she told her truth, end quote.
Right. She did.
So what do you think she did?
she expressed how she felt. I mean,
I don't feel nothing's wrong with being transparent. That's the problem with the world right now. People dying in a lie. It's okay to be transparent and express yourself. I think that makes you more vulnerable and you can relate to more people.
And it's the truth. Who doesn't want to feel attractive? I don't care who you are.
He got all that
You want
money.
to feel attractive.
So those women are coming at him because they
Right.
like, oh, if he get me pregnant, then
But
I'm
this
set
is
for
what
life
I
type thing.
said.
For real.
But this is what I said to one of my radio colleagues when he brought up the topic on his show. She signed up to marry a famous basketball player. She signed up.
I wasn't famous then.
Yeah.
No, they've been together a long time.
A potential.
Oh, like she
okay,
didn't know.
let me put potential famous basketball player. A potential. Did you all not see Spike Lee? He got game.
Yeah, but still,
Okay,
you
same
don't
thing.
know they're gonna come. I mean, you don't know they're gonna throw panties at your husband on the court and that type of. You
And
don't,
she
you
was
don't know
younger.
that.
You don't
Yeah.
really realize
They're
what
still
else will
young.
come with that,
Right.
you know. So
But I mean, but she knew it. But why? But why come out now and say all this?
She's
So,
just saying the truth, how she felt.
I mean, I
how she
understand her
felt.
truth, but why now?
sometimes
It
the
was a-
women you get
Why
insecure
not?
because she spoke about how he's getting all this attention.
Right.
And he gets
That was
on
the
her
topic
nerves.
at that
How
table.
women, and sometimes she want to step in and say hi. You know, his wife is right here.
Right, respect.
Yeah, so she's like, oh, he's getting all this attention, but the only eyes I have on me is him. How come
You
men
know
are
what I
looking at
think
me?
though, just to play devil's advocate, I think she has gotten attention. It may be from the guys that she may not find attractive. It may be from, she probably want that attention from the good-looking guys that are just as good-looking as Steph.
But
Because I
See, I don't think Steph is that cute.
well, I like
to
me
a lot of
light
women he
skin.
is.
I like me a light skin. Everybody know that. I talk
I
about
mean,
that
he
all the time.
I just,
Yeah.
I mean,
He
he wouldn't make my
he
hands
ain't
hurt.
frog hair fine, but
I mean, what do you find her attractive?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and
But
yeah.
she's like a
absolutely.
wholesome attractive. You know what I mean? Like, she's not somebody that you're gonna go whistle at when you see in the mall. You know,
maybe
she
she
don't have
wants
that.
like a Chris Brown to like cross the fence and holler at her to like stir up something in her like, ooh, even though I'm married,
Because
he like,
what
oh, she
age?
fine.
What age range are they in? What,
They're in their 20s still, aren't they? They're in their 20s still.
I thought they were in their early 30s. I'm not sure.
Sean's trying to look it up.
Because I'm trying to figure out if you that young and you feeling
She's
that.
young. I mean,
You know-
they're young.
And maybe she's still dealing with insecurities.
Yeah,
She
because
definitely is
now that's
insecure.
exactly what I'm sitting
Mhm.
in my spirit. It seems more deeper than just you not getting that attention. It's more kind of like, how do you feel about yourself as a person? You know, do you love yourself? You know, because a man is also attracted to confidence. So if you're not confident in yourself, then
And money
Sometimes-
doesn't fix everything.
money never fix insecurities. And
But would you
know,
I would feel insecure. You're married to somebody like that.
I want it, honey.
you would feel insecure?
All
would
these,
not.
all these like super attractive people
No.
throwing themselves.
And
You
if
wouldn't
it
feel a
was-
little.
If
I
it-
wouldn't do
right,
it.
look, and if it was something that I felt personally, physically on myself, made me insecure, all that money, I'm flying
You would
somewhere
fix
and I'm
it.
having
Well, she
something
did
fixed.
have a boob job.
Okay,
She
well, I
did.
would have my butt done too then.
But if that didn't help, that means it's an inside job. Something is not good
Well,
within
maybe
yourself.
he's not complimenting her enough to make her feel secure.
First of all, can't no man make you feel
Yeah,
secure. You
'cause
gotta feel
can't
that
nobody-
for yourself.
It's
Mm.
called
Dude, I don't-
self-esteem.
Yeah, you gotta
Self-esteem. Right.
Gee,
It's
like-
called self-esteem for a reason.
You can compliment me and build me up, but I gotta know that I'm the ish before I even mess
Okay,
with you.
even if you know that, if your man, if your partner is never giving you compliments, always giving other people attention, you telling me that you wouldn't take a little hit?
No, I'm
You
gonna
gonna
check
take a
his
little
butt.
hit.
He gonna get checked real
You
quick.
still gonna take a little hit though. So you're gonna be a
I
little
mean,
bit.
yeah,
maybe
you're
I
gonna want to
don't.
question that
You
type
gonna
of
question
thing,
it?
but
Nobody ain't that.
it's kind of like, is he not ever giving her? We don't know
I
what
doubt-
goes on
Exactly.
with that.
But I doubt
Exactly.
he's not giving her attention. I just feel like
Something's going on behind closed
She's
doors.
like,
that she
dang,
said
everybody wants him, nobody wants me, but my husband type thing. And there's
But
nothing wrong
you
with
see
that.
now, this discussion is the reason why so many people have came at Aisha. Because it's like, okay, if you feel like you're not getting a lot of attention, whether it's from other guys or from Steph, like that's, why now? Why talk about it, or why not have that communication with your own husband?
Mhm.
Well,
that
she
was
was
just the
throwing
red
hints.
table. That was just the red table conversation.
On
She
a public
just-
forum.
Yeah.
In
She
a
felt
public forum on
comfortable enough with
Facebook,
Jada
where
and
Jada
everyone.
Pinkett Smith gets a
But that's
billion
what red table's about.
and she wanted her man to know what was up.
And now he know. And the
She
rest of
threw
the world.
hints. Everybody know. Okay, the reality of it is she trying to get some attention from her man.
Mm-hmm.
Point blank. Period.
And your man too.
Oh yeah, and everybody
I'm
else
just
man
gonna
that
say-
ain't looking at her. That's what she said.
Cause you don't see Beyonce sitting up here saying, "Oh, you know, I don't feel like," cause everybody
But
want
people
her.
do holler at
Okay,
Beyonce,
but you
though.
see, she still dresses sexy and she reps her
But
brand
Aisha
100%.
doesn't dress like
Well,
that.
then she need to switch up her game. If she's having an issue, baby girl,
Yeah.
it's you. Figure it out. Go look in the mirror, talk to yourself, and y'all make a plan and do it.
Amen.
That's
I
what you
agree.
gotta do.
Let's go to the comment section. Everybody hitting us up on Facebook at Beat Break Radio at Sean Garvey. Let's go to Jeffrey. Jeffrey hitting us up. Thank you for shouting us out and checking in with us. He says, if you're that insecure, don't get married. And then he goes on to say, I'm not mad at Aisha, but she is definitely an attention monger. She just does it in a unslutty way.
I wouldn't say, and I wouldn't say an unslutty way. Now I do agree with the insecure part. That's about it.
Yeah,
She has
we
daughters,
agree on
and I
that.
feel like she wants to maintain an image for them, which I understand.
Yeah.
But, you know, like I said, if you're not happy, you gotta fix it. He can't fix it.
If you're not happy, what was the last part?
She has to fix it.
But
She's
she
not
didn't say she
he-
wasn't
he
happy.
can't.
She just wants to know she still got it. That she's still attractive.
Be insecure
That's, you
within
know what? But
yourself.
you know what? That sounds like a guy who is married, right? And
She sounds like a guy who's married.
but no, I'm just giving an analogy. Like that sounds like a guy who's married to this woman. He got on a wedding ring and he's not getting attention, and he wants to take that ring off and just want to see if he still got it.
Yeah, I agree with
And
you.
lots of people do that.
I think it's the opposite. I've known men that wear wedding rings and they're not married and they get more attention. So I used to be a bartender. They used to come in, wear the ring, they're not a lick of married, but they would get that
Yeah, I do
attention.
that. I wear rings. I won't be bothered.
Well, see, for a man, usually, I don't know why it works differently like that, but when a man is taken, it's like he is more attractive to women.
Yeah, that means somebody
Yeah.
wanted to marry him. They thought he was a good man. Married
There
him.
But they don't want the commitment.
And then they don't have to deal with them extra problems.
Exactly.
They can get a little Netflix and chill, and then move on.
That's true. And then I wonder how her husband is taking it. Like, I wonder what the conversation has been. Like,
Oh,
what
that'd
has
be
he said to
good.
her? Like,
Yeah.
damn, you had to do that on national TV, so now everybody think.
Once
I'm not,
exactly, you see my point. Exactly, because I mean, like, say I'm in a relationship and I got a girl and she goes on a nationally, because the Red Table Talk is a national show, and she goes on the show and she talks about, I'm not getting a lot of attention from women, or she's not getting a lot of attention from guys, you know, blah blah blah, and Sean gets all the attention, blah blah blah. I'm like, wait a minute, hold up, we never had this conversation before.
Behind closed doors.
Behind closed
Yeah.
doors, like why now? Why now? Why are you going on this particular platform to air this laundry out when we could have just had a conversation about it, or we could have had a conversation about it together and then go on the Red Table Talk show and talk about it.
I think
You know,
it just
it would have
came
been
out. It
a
just
different
came out.
outcome.
It just came
So
out.
was it said that they never had that conversation
Exactly. And I think Jada's such a good interviewer. I mean, she just like you. Don't you pull things out of people that they don't
All
necessarily? Okay.
all
So
the
I don't think
time.
she went
All
on
the
saying,
time.
I'm going to just throw my husband under the bus and make myself, you know. I think it just came out
And
in the
Jada said she
conversation.
felt the same way as well, though, too. So,
Everybody wants to feel like they got it.
Yeah.
Okay? You want to
I
feel like
agree,
you got it.
at a
You
certain
that you
point.
hot.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I'm gonna go on Red Table Talk and be like, my wife, she can't cook. I'm just gonna put it out there. She can't cook.
But they might ask you a question and you might accidentally say that and then start going into detail. You didn't
And
necessarily
then,
want
you
to hurt your
know,
wife.
wifey gonna have
Exactly.
some words when you get home, but you, it's already in the universe. Too late.
That's
We
being
can't
a good
turn back the
interviewer.
hands of time.
So is
Exactly.
the comments from Aisha Curry. It's already in the universe.
She did. She actually did put out a statement. I don't know what she said, but she did put out another statement after
Oh,
everybody
wow.
attacked her. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Aisha is 30 years old.
Okay, so
she's 30.
she just got out her 20s. I know she was young.
Well, her frontal
She's
lobe is
young.
developed, so she. So, I mean, hey,
I can't right now.
everyone will forget next year, but you'll be alright.
In another month.
Yeah.
And we're
Uh-huh.
on to the next thing.
Okay. And all right. And last but not least, regarding entertainment, who all in here is surprised that this will be the final season of two of the biggest shows, Power and Empire?
3.
3?
And
It's 3.
Game of Thrones.
We're talking about
Okay,
black,
then 4.
we're talking about black shows right now.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were saying shows in general. Okay. My bad.
I mean, we already know people feel some type of way about Game of Thrones. God, I've never been a Game of
And
Thrones
me either.
watcher.
And I've never watched one episode.
Oh,
Ever.
see,
Ever,
Gotta
ever,
join the club.
ever.
Gotta join the club.
I haven't. But I played Skyrim and Elder Scrolls, so on Xbox.
Yeah.
But I've never watched.
I watched
Game of
every,
Thrones.
So it's only been one person in this room. that
every
only
show,
watched.
every
Really?
Be the 5% of the world. Like that.
binge watching that thing.
So it's only been one person that watched Game of Thrones in this room.
Do you watch
Only
it,
one.
G?
No. So nobody in here watched it?
Yeah, I've never.
Okay, so back to Power and Empire. Because I watched Empire and Power religiously.
Me too.
You know, there was even one point in time where I had to pick and choose which one I was going to watch. Empire or Power? Power or Empire? I think a lot of people are going to miss Power more than Empire.
I agree.
6 seasons. That's 6 seasons of Power.
Well, do y'all know why the seasons are ending though? Like, are people trying to like venture off and do other things, or is it some behind the scene things going on?
I
Well,
think
I know with
the ratings will
Empire.
drop. The ratings will just drop.
Well, I know with
It's
Empire,
time to
you
end
know
it.
what happened.
Well,
We
their
all know
ratings
what
were
happened.
dropping before then, before the
Yeah.
whole Jesse thing.
I heard 50 Cent and Lala were trying to do something on the side. I read something about it the other day.
Do something. No, see, you trying to create controversy.
No, not
already.
do something on the side. Okay. Like, I'm trying to make a separate show to basically piggyback off of
Oh,
Power.
okay. Not Netflix and chill on the
No,
side.
no.
Okay. I'm just checking.
Finish it would have been like,
She gonna
whoa.
let that. She let it
Girl, you
go.
gotta start me up with that Netflix and chill. You gotta know what you're saying when you talk about Netflix and chill.
Finish, you know how 50 seconds I be like, yeah.
You know, 50 Cent, he was just going after Jill Scott. So, you know.
What?
Yeah, because she did the whole little microphone
Oh,
massage.
I thought
Girl,
she
we
did
both was like, "Rrr."
No, he was sorry that she turned him on. And
I mean,
What?
She was pretty sexy.
50
with
Cent
the-
need to stop.
He
Did you see that? Did you see that
He ain't
video?
gonna stop.
Oh, no. Mm-mm,
Did you
honey.
see the video of her when she did it?
Oh, I've seen it. You mean, yeah, she's a very sexual, sensual woman just naturally, but 50 Cent, ew. You is not for Jill. Back off, buddy.
You know, he always say get the strap. So
Not your energy with Jill energy. Back up off her. Move on.
So you know, he always say get the strap on IG. So you know, I'm just saying. He'll probably be saying that to Jill Scott. Get the strap.
That strap? I don't want to even imagine that. That's one of those, things where you think about a person being with another person, getting it in.
I don't think that would ever happen.
That,
She's not
no.
his type.
Ew. 50 Cent, move
I don't
on.
think
Stop
that-
playing
he
with
just was saying
people.
something, but she's not his type.
Don't say nothing no more.
Yeah, but the last season of Power, I mean, of course, the season finale of the 5th season ended with Tommy shoots Ghost side chick. Let's just be honest, side chick Angela, the cop, and we don't know if she's going to live or if she's going to die. And now it's gonna be like a revenge type of situation. We're gonna see what's gonna happen between Ghost and Tommy in this last season.
I love their relationship, by the way.
They had a love and hate relationship because it was one minute they were cool and then the next minute they weren't cool. And I think Tommy tried to kill Ghost. He tried to get Ghost taken out before.
In his mind, he thought he tried and he thought he would and he could, but he couldn't. Because he loved him. Like it's one of those things where I can't stand my sister right now and I ain't talked to her for 2 years,
Right.
but the love is there and you eventually go back into that relationship. And that's how Tommy was like, man, I'm about this life. I'm about these streets. I'm going to show Ghost what's up, but that's my brother, man. I can't kill my brother.
Where he almost did.
almost doesn't count.
Brandy.
Brandy.
Okay. Almost not good enough.
You either gonna do it or not.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and Empire last season, Empire. Of course, the 5th season ended with Lucius and Cookie. Cookie says that she is tired of being his ride or die.
Yep.
I think she said that to him before, though. I could have sworn.
She has said it in several different ways for a plethora of times, but this time she said it and walked away, kind of like, and she hurt him.
And she told him that she slept with the other guy.
Too, and that made me feel like she really meant like she was tired, because how she got at him, she knew that was going to make him look at her like, you know. So you saw when Lucius looked at her like,
She followed these shows.
Oh man, imagine what Lucius would have done if he had caught Cookie and the other guy in the bedroom together.
he would have killed both of them. He would have killed Cookie by choking her. I love you. You know, that would have been that hate-love choke.
You gotta put
But
that hustle.
he would have probably.
You gotta put that hustle and
in
flow voice in there. You gotta be like, tell me you didn't sleep with my wife, Mike.
Look, Mike.
Tell me you didn't sleep with my wife, Mike.
Mike.
Right. M-A-N-E.
What wife you gonna do to me, Mike? For Cookie, you put my love in the toilet, Mike.
740 and voiceover.
I'm telling you, he's coming out. He's bringing it out.
Right?
Oh.
We need another break right here on the Beat Break Morning Show. Let's take another break, and then we're going to really quick talk about the heartbeat bill. All right, so we're going to switch it over and talk about something serious. All right, so I know some people feel some type of way about it. We're going to talk about it right here on the Beat Break Morning Show. Y'all keep it locked. All right, welcome back. Beat Break Morning Show. Man,
Hope we'll run out of time.
so hilarious. Hey, listen up, folks. Coming soon, we're gonna be on the Cash App.
Whoop, whoop.
Yep, and we're gonna also provide PayPal to our listening audience out there. So in the future, in one of our future shows coming up, you definitely want to support us. Definitely want to support us, but we're going to start taking donations to Beat Break Morning Show, to the Beat Break podcast. So show some love, show some support really soon. We really appreciate it. All right, the Beat Break Morning Show on Thinking Out Loud Network, thinkingoutloudnetwork.com, and beatbreakradiofm.com, and also on our other affiliates. Sean Garvey with Neisha and Ty from the Ty and Tia Talks podcast, along with Starr.
Credits Queen.
Yeah.
Say it right, girl. That's what I'm talking about.
She said it more sexier than I did.
I like that.
Yeah.
Put some respect on
I
it.
Put some
want
respect
some respect on my name.
I
She ain't playing.
see it.
All four of my eyes.
I know.
Oh boy, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. They hypnotizing. They very hypnotizing. Like they putting me in a sunken place right now.
Okay.
Yes.
Ooh, be careful now. You might not get back out of that.
Yeah, you know, like be like that. All right. Okay. So of course, people are aware about the heartbeat bill that was signed and passed. And what I really don't understand is our fellow colleague in radio, Charlamagne the God. He gave Georgia Governor Brian Kemp Donkey of the Day for signing the bill and putting it in law for women in the state of Georgia to not have an abortion after 6 weeks, when you have other governors in other states that have did the same thing too. Which I didn't quite understand, because Brian Kemp was getting all this backlash, which he deserves, just to be fair, but it was other people in other states too, and like Alabama, and we was talking a little bit about it off the air, Anisha, about Alabama getting it also, and the ramifications that come along with it, and then I read somewhere that in Texas, if a woman because they also signed the abortion bill, the heartbeat bill also too. And in Texas, if a woman aborts her baby, she could
Jail.
not more than jail. She could face the death penalty. Right? Yeah. So this has been a very, very precedented situation in our nation's history.
But was Kemp first? Wasn't he first in the spotlight about this? Is that why he got Duncan?
We heard, yeah.
Because I've been hearing about this for a minute about Kemp. The Alabama thing just was about 2 weeks ago.
Like I said, a lot of celebrities have been putting in
It's been months.
So I feel like that was the reason why we heard about it more, because of celebrity, attention that's bringing.
Because Rihanna, I know she stated something when the bill was passed. Didn't Rihanna make a statement when the bill was passed? When the lady was publicly, announced as, no abortion, blah, blah, blah. Rihanna was just like, really, that kind of like sarcasm, like, hey, like, are we serious? Like, this is what we're doing. It's supposed to be pro-choice, blah, blah, blah. So I think that's another thing that kind of got it sparking in the air, like made it go viral.
Yeah, Alyssa Milano.
Oh
Yeah,
she's
been on the forefront.
She had people like Gabrielle Union and other people signing, documents saying they will not film in the state of Georgia if it gets passed.
Speaking of Alyssa Milano, right? Because she's been on the forefront of this issue, but she recently called for a sex strike. You all looking at me like deer in headlights.
I didn't know.
I didn't hear about that.
Yes.
No,
She
I
called for
was
a
very
sex
unaware
strike.
of that.
Yeah, she called for a sex strike
So women don't have sex
with men, right?
in regards
For whatever,
to,
for I don't know for how long, but to get the attention from the powers that be regarding the heartbeat bill and this abortion matter.
Oh, that's deep.
Wow.
Very deep. You can't even go deep. Yeah, literally.
I knew he.
It just comes out.
Perfect timing.
It just comes
though.
out.
It really was.
It just comes out like on the red table.
I don't think that's going to even carry any weight though. That's because that's like the same thing in the black community. When something happens, like
Like the Gucci thing.
yeah, like don't go shopping here,
Yeah.
and then we still go do it.
Well, I didn't, but yeah, a lot of us did.
Yeah, like so don't shop on this day. If all black people don't shop on this day, then when her businesses, they still go shop. So I don't think that's going to carry any weight.
I think it could if they actually use the money to market for us not to do it, because what happened with those things and why it didn't go anywhere is because it wasn't persistent enough, and also it wasn't, I guess, a lot of people didn't see it until after.
For the televised,
You need to televise the
advertise.
revolution.
Yeah.
People need to see what they're going to be standing for. And needed to go through different airways for people to actually do what, support the movement like that.
And the understanding behind it too.
I think people, if they feel it doesn't affect their lives personally, they're just going to do what they want to do, no matter what. It doesn't affect me, so.
Oh yeah, and I agree with you, because even with some of the celebrities, they're not going to protest or comment on things if it doesn't affect their life personally. And I have my own feelings about that, neutral feelings, because it's kind of like, hey, if you're in a position of power where you can help change the world, why not? But also at the same time, it's kind of like, if you're not in that world, how can you help change it? Like, you don't understand what's going on, that, you're not a part of that, and you have no recollection of how to solve these issues or even speak on them, then I prefer you actually just be quiet.
So what made these men think they could speak on this issue and sign this bill? They're men.
Girl, something must have happened in their personal life.
Because they running the world. They run in the office. They implement laws.
But I'm sure they have daughters, sisters.
Most of these people are conservatives. And they believe, you get married before you even have sex. You don't have a child out of wedlock.
Oh, come on.
So,
Most of these state officials are having
glad
affairs.
Of course. But still, most of them, you gotta be honest, that's how they look at things.
Well, it's so funny. So glad that you said that, because I had a conversation with a conservative guy, right, who is actually in support of the bill. And you know, he told me this. He said, Sean, if people go out here and buy $600 worth of shoes, go out and buy $200 worth of cell phones, smartphones, go out here and buy all these Jordans and buy all these materialistic things, then they can afford to go to the dollar store or go to the pharmacy and buy $8 to $14 worth of condoms to avoid unplanned pregnancy.
But that doesn't always avoid.
But that's not the only way someone gets pregnant either, is by having just, willing, permissible sex.
It's a lot that goes with that. It
So-
really is. Women get raped. And
Yes,
birth
molested,
control.
all kind of stuff.
I've gotten pregnant off birth control. So, things happen.
That's a lame.
Yeah. Then what's the point of condoms then?
I mean, that's
Well,
just being responsible.
Protect you from
Yeah.
STD.
Yeah,
And pregnancy.
That's being
it's
responsible.
it's a form of birth control. We didn't say that it was the best form
Yeah.
of birth control,
They
but
tear
it is
rip.
one of the forms of birth control.
Yeah, they're not bulletproof at all.
They're not.
There's
Trust me.
issues with those.
That's why I have a little angel.
Uh-huh. So, okay, so moving forward, and, I'm glad you said that as well, as far as rape and being forced to do something that you don't want to do. Like, what would be the solution moving forward now that we got this bill in place? What is the solution?
To teach men to respect women and stop sexualizing them. So these boys don't grow up all goo goo gaga over looking at some boobs and some butt and some coochie, and they realize, okay, she's not a sex object, she's a woman. I respect her, not just protecting her all the time, but I respect her, her values, and who she is. She creates life, so we need to hold her in a higher regard.
To do that, we have to change our TV shows, our
Yeah.
music. I don't think that would ever. That's like a fantasy to even.
But that would be a good way to even start. I mean, we over sexualize women so much, and just like black men are over sexualized with like the girth of what a black man's penis is. Who implemented all this? It wasn't us. We don't run media like that. I mean, we get in there, but it was the powers that be, and y'all know what them powers are. So I just feel like they doing the same thing. They taking control and saying, okay, you get pregnant and you have an abortion after this point and period, we can put you in jail for life. We can put you on death row.
Because the other alternative, due to the fact that now you got this law in place, the other alternative is to still keep it, still have it, face up to your responsibilities and take care of it, or give it up for adoption. And I know there are certain people that don't want their kids to be, quote unquote, in the system.
So there's too many of them already that people are not willing to adopt.
And
there
getting
are so
lost.
many kids getting abused and suffering because they're in the system.
And coming up missing, and nobody
Yeah.
cares. And abduction is a very serious thing. And for someone to tell you don't have the right to do something, and then these kids are born into this world, and because they're no man kids, they don't have a home. When they come up missing, nobody even notices or cares or anything like that. So that's that's a whole nother level of a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But also just to state, that when that law is passed, even in Alabama, they're creating new, they're in the process of building new jails, new incarceration systems. So it's kind of like a plan. Hey, people gonna be going to jail anyway for doing it. So let's go on and build these systems up so we can do, enslave, more of our.
So you're saying this is all an agenda? This
There's always an
custody
agenda.
bill, abortion bill is an agenda.
Is sex trafficking still not prevalent in the United States?
It's always an agenda.
To me, it is.
Yes, and it's crazy, and it's young girls that they're grabbing and forcing them to have sex. So what happens if she gets pregnant by somebody that she
Which
doesn't
they
know,
do.
and she's 13 or 14? I mean, like she said,
what I'm
I'm
saying.
kind of into everybody, because in one aspect, I'm a mother. You know, people know I got 5 babies. I didn't abort not one. I took accountability. Hey, I knew what I was doing when I had them. I didn't have to, you know, it wasn't rape or anything like that. I consciously was aware of the act, and I knew what the outcome could be. So I handled mine. But there's some people that are out here just having sex, and they're not aware of what's going to happen. They can't even take care of themselves, let alone a precious, innocent child that grow up and be messed up because their mama is messed up, or, you know, and then the
You know how many times I've seen that before in my past, and I'm just speaking from personal experience. Like, listen, young people that's listening to us, because we do have young audiences that listen to us as well, but if you don't take anything else from me, just know that if you are in a situation right now, you could be working at Family Dollar, you could be working at a place of business, and you're only making $7.50, $8.50 an hour. Do not put yourself in a position to pregnate or to get somebody pregnant if you're not in a place to take care of that child financially. And I know it's not just only financially, because there's emotions involved. There's the fact that you got to be there as a parent. But to my young queens out there, my young ladies out there, do not get with these knucklehead boys because they tell you that they love you and they're going to take care of you and all that. That's just some BS. That's just for them to get what they want at the end of the day. If you're not in a perfect situation or a better situation to financially take care of the kid, don't put yourself in that predicament. Because a lot of these boys out here, and I'm not saying all of them, but there's a lot of little boys out here that are telling these young girls, I'm going to be a big rapper when I come up. I'm gonna be the LeBron James. You know, I'm producing beats. I'm in the studio right now with such and such. We're gonna be rich or whatever. Those are just pipe dreams. Don't get with no dude that ain't got nothing going on, and you expect him to take care of your child, ladies, young girls, young queens. Don't put yourself in that predicament.
But to counteract that, you know, it does have to be taught, because I feel like a lot of times these young boys, where are the fathers teaching them some stuff?
They're not in a home.
And this is the thing. So we got this coming at women, but where are the laws for a man? You know, because yeah, sometimes you can't take care of a child, but you know what? If you want a woman that's gonna come to the place that, you know what, no matter what, you mine, and I'm gonna hold you down, and we're gonna get through it. Because I had to do that. I was a teenage mom. And I probably graduated from high school 8 months pregnant, you know?
Right.
And I didn't depend on a man for anything. And I'm a better woman for it. And my daughter, she's amazing, you know? And I'm thankful. My whole life has been shaped around my kids, and I'm so grateful for that. But the men get away with stuff because, you know, for one, we're lacking the fathers in the community. And then for two, you know, how come he can impregnate a woman and not get any repercussion from it? But, oh, if I go do this, then I gotta look and face some jail time. You know, barely. I mean, you gotta look at it. Sometimes these men are not involved in the kids' lives. They don't pay child support. They do gotta pay child support. They cry about it. You know, and it's like, where is it being looked at? The men have to take accountability for stuff too. She can't just get herself pregnant. She ain't having sex with just herself. So that's the thing that bothers me. Where are the laws for the men?
I mean, it's both ways. It definitely goes both ways. You know, I agree. We all got to take responsibility for our own actions to not put ourselves in a predicament that could change the outcome of our lives. Because I see so many potential. I see a lot of potential in young people that are trying to go places. I hear their stories and they tell me they want to do this. But at the same time, I've seen the other side of the fence where those dreams are deferred and because of the decisions that they make. You know, so we just got to raise that awareness all the time when we talk to a young person in the young community. But look, we are almost out of time, ladies and gentlemen. Time now for some fake news or not fake news. I'm not going to even play the sweeper because we're running out of time. But we're just going to jump right into it. We're just going to jump right into it. All right, so ready for some fake news or some not fake news? Are y'all ready?
Ready.
Okay, all right. So let's start off with this. All right. A veterinarian gives warning after several dogs bitten by copperhead snakes. Fake news or not fake news?
Not fake.
A veterinarian gives
warning.
Veterinarian gives warning after several dogs bitten by copperhead snakes.
So he's warning that area about what happened. I think that's real.
Real.
You think that's all real?
Mhm.
Real? Okay. All right. Well, it's not fake news. It is real.
Yeah.
It is real. It is real. And crazy thing is that it happened in Gwinnett County, Georgia. I know a lot of people from Gwinnett.
I live in Gwinnett.
You see why I said crazy? The crazy thing is happening in Gwinnett, all right? So local veterinarians say they are alarmed by a string of venomous snake bites. You know, because it's snake season.
I used to
Oh,
have a
yeah.
snake in the
I
past.
thought they killed. You know, I thought their venom was poisonous to the
It is poisonous.
Like dogs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, so there you go. There you have it. Okay. Fake news or not fake news? All right. Woman says she is out of $10 million after strangers deposited check from post office mailbox.
That's fake.
Fake news or not fake news? Woman says she's out of $10 million after strangers deposited check from post office mailbox.
I say it's real.
You say it's real.
I
Fake.
would
You
have
say-
checked. Well, I don't know.
10 million. What about you, Starr?
Fake.
Fake? Okay, we got 2 fakes, 1 real. Alright. Fake news. Fake news.
You
You
remember
say
that?
it was real.
Well, you remember that lady who tried to cash that tax refund?
Yeah.
I thought that was real.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Now, actually, it was 7K. 7K.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
unbelievable.
Yeah, she was out of 7K after strangers deposited check from post office mailbox. And guess where this happened in?
Where?
Georgia. But this time,
Tom Gwinnett.
this happened in
Gwinnett.
South Fulton County, though.
Oh, that's my
okay.
area.
Oh, okay. All right. One more fake news or not fake news story. All right. A real life Ironman jet suit can hit speeds of 90 miles per hour, fly 85 feet into the air. Fake news or not fake news?
A jet suit, like you put on and
With the thing in the
you
back?
get superpowers?
That's probably real. Probably was made in China.
Real? Okay. Real?
Yeah, real.
Real? You say real?
Because he has the suit.
He wants to be like Iron Man.
Yeah.
What do you think, Starr?
I don't think it's real.
That's dangerous if it is. Like,
90 miles per hour.
ooh, that's fast.
That is fast.
That's fast.
I say it's real.
Okay. Fake news.
Aw.
But
I mean,
He probably just
I'm
changed
trying
the
to
speed.
realize it's
Right.
It's probably like 55 miles per hour.
but this actually did happen. Okay, so instead of 90 miles per hour,
See.
the real life Ironman jet suit can hit speeds of 60 miles per
That's
hour.
55.
Okay, because I feel like at 90 or more like that, your skin started,
Flapping.
you know, because I'm just like,
Flour coming out your mouth. Buzz going there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Would you do something like that? Put on an Iron Man suit, jet suit, and.
Well, I am a superwoman, so.
Oh.
If they
okay.
make it right, you know what I'm saying? I might be going around saving the world, top flight security.
Saving the world, saving people out of credit, from bad credit.
Not from a lot of different things, okay? If I got that much power, it's going to be just a lot of things I'm going to be saving people from.
Okay.
Okay.
That would be fun. I'm
Be a
sure it'll be on the
superhero?
market soon, probably. Watch.
Mhm.
Kids gonna be like, Mommy, I want that for Christmas.
Oh my goodness, the Beat Break Morning Show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all so much. Starr,
Thank
Kells
you.
in the building. Thank you.
Thank you guys for having me.
All right, and once again, where can people follow you?
You can follow me at Starr with 2 R's, Credit Queen, on Instagram and Facebook.
Okay, and how can people get in contact with you for more information?
You can call me at 678-856-7827. Or you can email me at Starr with 2 R's, Credit Queens
That's your-
at Gmail.
Is that your personal number or your business number?
That's business.
That's your business number, okay. Because you
I
said it
wouldn't
kind of.
Oh, you get some crazy calls.
Right?
I know.
So don't try it, fellas.
I do get crazy calls. They think that's my personal number. And God bless y'all out there.
Ooh, okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
world we live in.
And I know you raised my credit, but can you raise this? That's the picture you get.
Shine bad, y'all.
Right?
I'm
Shine bad
single.
on
The
the
last
road.
one I got was I'm single with a very revealing picture of their genital area.
Ooh,
Thanks.
that happens. It's like,
It is.
He wanted a discount for your services.
You wanted more than a discount.
He wanted it for free. He wanted the whole thing for free.
Netflix and chill, girl.
You, Starr.
Yeah.
They're probably like,
boy.
what y'all talking about?
Ty and Tia Talks podcast. All right, where can people follow you?
Follow my personal IG at Ty Baby Thanks and Facebook at Tafara Ty Baby Thanks, and then follow Ty and Tia on IG at Ty and Tia Talks and Ty Tia on Facebook, and listen in on Beat Break 6 to 7 p.m.
Yes.
BeatBreakRadioFM.com for more information.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
y'all will
yeah.
enjoy. We'll keep you entertained, and we just raw and unfiltered, so just listen.
When I say raw, like
Yeah,
no
raw.
condom raw.
The reason we got
We're
kids
not.
raw, yeah.
Yeah, we're not gonna abort anything.
Hell
No heartbeat bill, nothing.
Yeah. Y'all will enjoy it for real.
Alright, and of course Neisha, she's not gonna let you know.
No, I only
not-
have like really one way to reach me. I mean, I'm not like situated like these ladies. But Neisha Bo on Instagram. You can follow me.
Yes,
How
ma'am.
you spell the bow part? Is it
M,
B-O-W?
silent M, B-O-W.
Okay. There you go, you guys. See? There you go.
Thank you for asking me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ty.
It's important.
Ty.
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh, my mama called me that. Sorry.
I just noticed we got a lot of T's in the studio.
Yeah.
TTT.
Because we rule the world.
Okay, well, next time y'all want to take over the show next time, y'all more than welcome to. I won't be here. I'm gonna be doing like this. Be like
That's
this.
cool. We can do it. We can do it, baby. That'd be fun.
Alright, stay tuned for the DJ Roller Mix right here on the Beat Break Morning Show. Follow me on all your social media at Sean Garvey on Facebook, at Sean Garvey ATL, Sean Garvey ATL on Twitter and on Instagram, and at Beat Break Radio on all your social media. It's the Beat Break Morning Show, the Beat Break Podcast. Also on ThinkOutLoudNetwork.com.
It's the Beat Break Morning Show with Sean Garvey and the crew.